What's up, fam? It's Sonya Blakey. You know, this is Black History Month, and history has arrived here at iHeartMedia. I saw him over at B103. I was like, you can't just do B103. You
I
gotta
got kidnapped.
come over to the gospel station.
Oh, yeah.
And affectionately known as the Music Man.
That's it.
Yeah, you've carried that legacy for many years.
Yeah, actually, my documentary is named Uncle George the Music Man.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Tell us real quick about your journey here in Chicago. What has it been like for you?
Well, my journey has just been unique. Born in the Bronx, left New York and was sent to Texas when I was starting 7th grade.
Wow.
My parents had restaurants in New York, and I was sent to Houston, and leaving New York, going to that environment.
Okay.
You know, of black and white, and with the segregation was just incredible. I wasn't aware until I got down there. And they had corporal punishment, and you know, I used to get whipped every day in school for not saying yes ma'am and no ma'am. I was from New York, and yeah and no. But it was an experience.
Yeah. Okay. What has Chicago meant for you? What has being here meant to
Well,
you?
it's meant it all, but there were so many segments of my life. But this has been 90% of who I am is Chicago. I was sent here when I came here. My brother was my guardian. If you're familiar with 79th Street, 79th and Carpenter, there's a lounge there called Cookies, and right across the street there's a dentist's office. My brother passed, but it was Dr. Newsom, Max Newsom. They named the street after him.
Okay.
And he sent for me when he was in medical school, married, had one child.
Wow.
And became my guardian from 8th grade through high school. And so this is how I wound up here.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, everybody talks about the Music Man, George's music room.
Yeah.
And so so you did have gospel.
Oh,
you did gospel in your store.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we really go back even before GCI and the stations. It was WVON.
Yes.
Because years ago, black music was not on FM; it was only on AM, all the way to the right of the dial. And WVON, which is talk radio, actually it was bought. If you remember the Cadillac Records.
Yes,
with,
Cadillac Records.
And Beyonce portrayed Etta James. Quick story.
Yes.
One of the artists. One of the first jobs I had in the music business, I was Etta James' driver when I was 18.
Wow.
And so the guys that owned Cadillac Records, called Chess Records, right there on 21st of Michigan. In 1963, I was a junior in high school, but this history I found out later. The most popular black radio station, or black station that played black music, because nothing was black owned in radio here, and it was WCES. And WCES was the popular station playing black music, and the two Jewish guys, Leonard and Phil Chess, Cadillac Records, they bought WCES in 1963, and they renamed it WVON.
Wow.
Voice of the Negro. And that's how VON started. And I was part of that era because of my girlfriend, who had one more year at Hyde Park High School. I graduated in '64. I met her that fall. I was working at Montgomery Ward, and she worked at Chess. And she sang background, and she was a receptionist, and that was Minnie Riperton.
Oh, wow.
And so that
wow, legacy.
dropped that one on you.
So you mentioned like one of your music stores that there was a church that was on top. Tell us about that.
No. It was a church, and they had a school.
Okay.
And it was True Vine Baptist Church.
Wow.
Reverend Hagler, and his grandson, one of his grandsons, was Marvin Hagler, the boxer. And so that my first store was 3937. I was at 3923, 3921, then 3915, which was the big one.
Wow.
And I had gone through some personal issues and what have you, but I survived them, and it was literally the community that came to my aid and helped me build that store out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
And ever since,
yeah.
when you show up, people would just bow down.
Well, it's a thing. I literally bow down to them because it was such a mutual respect, you know. And when I was able to do the things that I had done, yes, it was my name on the store, but I owe it all to my ability to hire young people. At my peak, I had 15 full-time employees at George's. You know, when I first opened, I was my only employee the first 3 years. But all of those young people, they walked to work.
Wow.
They got their jobs. right there in the neighborhood. And this is something that I'm campaigning for now, to make people aware of. Look at our history. You know, look at 47th Street, 43rd Street, 51st, 55th on the west side, and all the areas. It was Black Wall Street around the corner from every place. And that doesn't exist. And so our young people are growing up, and they have different concepts of what it is to be a business person. The lyrical content, you know, where are the artists today, you know, talking about what's going on, like a Marvin Gaye. You don't hear those stories, those motivational things. And this was leading our young people to do certain things and see. So what's going on are hidden stories. And our young people need to see these examples of where they grew up at. You know, I'm still communicating. Actually, the foundation is restoring our building on the west side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's going to be an event space and a George's Music Room like museum. And I've been attempting to explain to them the history of that neighborhood, of Lawndale, North Lawndale. When I had George's Music Room over there, the population was about 150,000 or better.
Wow. Okay.
It's less than 30,000 now.
Wow. Devastating.
And see, so when you ride through there, and it just breaks my heart, you know, when I see my building. And then the Better Boys Foundation, which is still there in Pulaski, we did a Christmas toy drive with them this year. And when I walked over there and I saw Pulaski, I literally started crying. It wasn't that cold that day. I wrapped up and I started walking while the thing was going on, and remembered the vacant lots where my friends who had businesses were all on Pulaski and then 16th Street and so on and so forth. So, and so we have generations now that are growing up that don't know how to run a neighborhood business because they've never seen anybody look like them running.
Wow.
You know, and so it's devastating. And when I look at young folks in their neighborhoods, when I used to open up, because I would open up early in the mornings, and the bus stops would be loaded with kids going to school and grown-ups going to work. Right through the neighborhoods now, bus stops are empty. You know, and so it's disturbing, and I'm excited about this foundation restoring the building, but I don't want it to just be there as a monument. I want it to be there as an engine to generate small businesses. I have ideas and what have you. They're kind of resisting, you know, these people. They just want to tie up real estate for years to come, because foundations, like corporations, they never die. But they will tie up real estate in our neighborhoods, because 90% of the vacant lots on the west side are there from when Dr. King got assassinated in 1968. Wow. When the building when the buildings burned. When Ogden Avenue was the car dealership mecca of Chicago.
Wow.
And so all of that disappeared. It's just like me and Joe Soto went to Farragut, of course not at the same time, but the west side was my first introduction when I came to Chicago, 1959.
Wow.
And Midway was the world's busiest airport.
Wow. Things have changed tremendously, but we're looking forward to your documentary.
Yes.
And when will that be available for everyone to see?
Well, hopefully it'll be picked up. It's, like I said, I'll be heading to LA. It's premiering at the Pan African Film Festival in LA, and hopefully one of the companies will pick it up and, you know, do distribution on it.
It's going to happen. We're going to touch and agree on that, all right?
In
prayer.
Please. Oh, I know that'll work.
I know your prayer works. Well, thank you so much. You look well, sir. You look rich. You look wealthy.
Hey, that's the main thing.
All right. Yeah. Well, everybody, the one and only George Daniels, we celebrate his history and his legacy.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.